Some breaking news now coming in amid the Jammu and Kashmir voters' roll revision. Terror group TRF has issued a threat, threatening to target every non-local in the valley. That's a threat coming in after non-local residents have also been allowed to vote. A big change coming in Jammu and Kashmir and integration. Pradeep Datta is joining us live with more details on this. Pradeep, clearly threatened by the integration of Jammu and Kashmir. This is the reaction coming in. Terror groups threatening to target non-locals in the valley.
See, what is important is that look at the language of the terror group and look at the language of our Kashmir-centric netas. They seem to be on the same page when it comes to giving rights to people, because voting right is a fundamental right in democracy. They are the same political party leaders who are saying that the democracy has shrunk. And when the government is making people stakeholders and giving them a right to vote, and why these people are crying horse, and look at the statement coming from TRF side, TRF saying that how the government of India is trying to bring in demographic change, so they will be targeting the Kashmiri pundits and non-locals, so they are trying to justify their act of terror. And unfortunately, not a single neta has spoken out against the threat by the TRF. Instead, what they are trying to do, they are trying to provide oxygen to this ecosystem of terror by speaking a similar language and saying that this is like disempowering people of Jammu and Kashmir. Let me explain the viewers what exactly used to happen. When there was Article 370 and 35A, why Article 370 and 35A was considered to be discriminatory? Because the West Pakistan refugee people, who were about 50,000, they were not given right to vote, so they were not able to participate in assembly election. Then there was a Gorkha Samaj, they were not able to vote. Again, they were denied that basic right. A Valmiki Samaj, they were also denied basic right. They were mostly the scheduled caste people, the Dalits, so they were denied the basic right. So this is a basic right because it's a universal exercise throughout the country. Anybody who is working anywhere, they have the right to vote. All they have to do is they just cancel the vote, the place they belong to. And the same thing that what the government of India right now, the administration is doing. The chief electoral officer has made it clear. Ordinarily, who is working here, doing business or studying here, they will have right to vote. So that means they will choose their representative because they are putting up here. Problem is that all these netas, why they are crying horse? Let me explain you. Farooq Abdullah used to get 8% vote because it was a quid pro quo. The terrorists used to give a boycott call, and with 8% vote, he used to become the member parliament. Same used to be the case with the Mehbooba Mufti. That means 92% people were not voting. So they were not the choice of 92% people. But now more and more people will be coming out and voting. That's why they feel that now the political
they're getting nervous, and that explains the reactions that have been coming in. Pradeep, do stay on with us. Some more breaking news coming in. A reaction from the National Conference insulting the outsiders by calling them outsiders. A clear insult also coming in, calling them bhaiyas, and even saying that they won't allow them to vote. Look at the language being used by the National Conference. First, they call the non-locals outsiders. They're calling them bhaiyas. Now, even saying that they will not allow them to vote. Pradeep, that's the reaction you were talking about, not just coming in from Mehbooba Mufti, National Conference leader as well, now insulting the non-locals.
Yes, yes. See, I asked this question to Sheikh Bashir Ahmed. He said that we will not be allowing the outsiders to vote. I said, they are the people of India. How come you stop them? He said that already we have seen that how because of the UP Walad and Biharis, the crime rate has increased. I said, why you are calling them criminals? Because they are the one who are the part of the development, because they are working here. Some of them are working here as laborers for years together. And you will not be calling those terrorist criminals who are coming from across the border, sponsored by Pakistan, and you will never condemn their act of terror. You will not call them criminals, those who have been committing the brutal and the heinous crime for the last 32 years. But you will not be speaking out against them. And the people who are here, the part of development, who are working here, earning their livelihood, you call them criminals and saying that we will not allow them to vote. What kind of a democracy you are talking about? Because you are the same political organizations who are saying that democracy has shrunk ever since Article 370 has been abrogated. And this is the basic fundamental right. Each and every Indian, when Jammu and Kashmir is a part of India, how come you stop an Indian from coming over to this place and not voting? Because he is putting up here, he has every right to decide who his or her representative has to be. So it is not that the Jamaat-e-Islami, it is not the terror organization, it is not the Pakistan that has to decide. Because what they used to do, they used to call for the boycott. Only few people used to come out, and that used to be either National Conference cadre or used to be Jamaat cadre or used to be PDP cadre, and they used to vote for their party, and accordingly their person used to become the member member parliament. That means that you were only getting 8 to 9% vote. For 8 to 9% vote, that is not. Democracy means majority. It is about majoritarianism. So here the majority of the people have to vote. So Government of India is trying to strengthen democracy. Government of India is trying to make everybody a bhagidari, a stakeholder in this system. And Government of India is further trying to integrate. And these people are there once again trying to resurrect those walls because they do not want to
that came in from the National Conference leader and the statement that he made. Let's play it out.
मैं बिल्कुल वसूख से कहता हूं और मैं अपने साथियों को, सारी पार्टियों को कहूंगा कि इस सिस्टम को रोको, नहीं तो आपको ये जो यूपी और बिहार के लोग जो हैं ये खा जाएंगे। यहां क्राइम पहले ही बढ़ रहा है, रोज नया नया क्राइम मतलब वजूद में आ रहा है। ये जम्मू कश्मीर की डेमोग्राफी को क्यों चेंज करना चाहते हैं? प्रेजेंटेशन एक्ट को तो पढ़े ना कि वोटर कैसे बन सकता है किसी जगह पे और कैसे वोट डालना है।
So this was the statement that we were talking about, even saying that we won't allow them to vote. The kind of statements, Pradeep, that you were talking of when we spoke to the National Conference leaders, saying that they are not going to be allowed to vote, clearly against the integration. And like you mentioned, speaking the language of the terrorists who have now said that they will not allow it.
See, the language is similar. That's what actually the TRF Kashmir fighters said. They have said that they are going to bring in demographic change. This is what exactly this man was also resorted to fear-mongering. They are saying that how they are trying to disempower people of Kashmir Valley. They are trying to bring in electoral demographic change because they want that BJP to win election. How come they know? They are not basically these 25 lakh people. They are insulting these voters. They have every right to decide who their representative has to be. They are not the BJP cadre member. Anybody can come and anybody can vote. And we have seen that people, in fact, when they are the same people during Amarnath, there was an agitation few years back. That time also they had said that when some structures were provided for Amarnath pilgrims, that time they said that they are trying to bring in demographic change. That time also we had argued that how come the people from Jammu region who had not gone to construct a house even in Budgam, Pulwama, Srinagar, how they will be constructing a house in a sub-zero temperature condition and bring in demographic change. So they resort to this fear-mongering. Basically they are trying to instigate people and trying to tell them, see, now the outsiders will be coming and you will not be having any space. Nothing like that. In fact, outsiders had been there. Everybody knows who is constructing their house. It is a Bihari laborer. Everybody knows who is working in the different fields. It's a UP, the person from the UP. It's not the Kashmiri who is working in the fields who is constructing the house. So they are the masons. They are working there. They are the part of the development agenda. So if they want, Kashmiris want development, they know that how important their role is with person from Bihar, a person from UP. So if they are putting up there, they are subject, they cancel their vote in their respective areas, and that will be properly checked. Once their vote is cancelled in Bihar and UP, they have every right to vote. And this is a universal exercise each and every Indian is doing. If we are settled in Delhi or we are in any other part of the country, we'll be also voting for our candidate. Nobody is going to stop us. If nobody is going to stop me, nobody is going to stop Omar Abdullah or his family members. How come they want that they are going to stop the Indians from coming over to vote? Because Jammu and Kashmir is a part of India. You can't stop them from doing so. And that is a question that everybody here is asking, that why you are crying hoarse, why you are speaking the language of Pakistan, why you are on same page along with the terror organization like TRF, the same organization that is responsible for targeted killing of Kashmiri Hindus. You must have seen that after Tiranga, now this thing, they have already issued a threat. We saw that how they targeted Rahul Bhatt. We saw that how they targeted Sunil Bhatt. Basically, they do not want to see footprints of Hindus and Hindustanis, and they want to target Hindustan at the international fora also by coming out with that campaign, the maligning image of the country. That's what they had been doing. So they do not want to do so. I think better would have been had these politicians understood the importance of the people, because they do not want to represent.
That's right. But clearly, Pradeep, that's unlikely to happen going by the reactions that have been coming in. Thank you for joining us with those details. We're slipping into a short break here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.